Hello and welcome to Time for God on Advent Sunday as we think about the story leading up to the birth of Jesus. We have two videos today. The first one, which is this one, is a meditation on the first two readings about Mary and Elizabeth, and then the second one is a meditation of a disciple much later on. This is called Two Women, One Door. There were two women, two cousins, with two secrets, and one wooden door between them. The woman on the outside of the door was barely a woman at all. She looked much more like a girl, and as she raised her hand to knock, she wondered, how shall I tell her? How shall I tell my cousin about this thing that has happened to me? And in an instant it all came back to her. The angel's greeting, her startled shock, and the angel's message that made her shock more startling still. You will have a baby, God's own special son, and you will call him Jesus, for he is going to save the world. How? She'd asked. How can this be when I'm not even married? And the angel's answer that God's own spirit would somehow come upon her was no less troubling. Would her cousin be shocked as well? Perhaps not. And that was why she had come. For the angel had said that her cousin was expecting a baby too, even though she was well past childbearing age. So maybe she, of all people, might somehow understand what had happened. Otherwise, there was no way to make sense of this. No way to explain it. God wanted to do something wonderful and amazing and impossible for her. That was all the girl could say. And with that, Mary knocked on the door. The woman on the other side raised her head at the sound and moved slowly across the room. She was an older woman, much, much older. Too old to have a baby, for sure. But a swollen belly said different. And as she made her way to the door, she wondered how she would explain that belly to her cousin. Her quick rehearsal sounded ridiculous. An angel appeared to my husband while he was working in the temple. The angel told him that he would have a baby boy. He told him to call the baby John, and that John would be the one to prepare our people for the coming of the Messiah, God's own special one. And furthermore, because my husband found this story just a bit far-fetched, the angel struck him dumb, and he's been sitting here for the last 6 months, quiet as a stone. The woman shook her head. She'll think I'm mad. She'll turn around and run out of here like it was a crazy house. And she looked at her silent husband, and she smiled. He smiled back. And with that, Elizabeth opened the door. And as soon as she did, the moment she laid eyes on Mary, her baby kicked. Not a gentle kick, but a big, hard kick. A kick like he was trying to kick his way out. A kick like he was dancing in there. Like he was dancing for joy. And that's when Elizabeth knew, without Mary having to say a word, you're going to have a baby, cousin, aren't you? And he's the one, isn't he? God's own special son. And here you are at my door to honour me with your presence. Come in and trust that all God has promised you will come true. So Mary went in, and the two women shared their stories. Two women, two cousins, no longer two secrets like a door between them, just the promise of two special sons.